So, after spending the last 2 weeks in bed watching K dramas and contemplating what is even life at this point, I finally decided to stop dwelling on things I cannot control and wake up and actually do something for once. So, here is my simple guide to be a somewhat functional human being in a not so functioning world. So, first thing first, get out of bed. I know, wild, but actually physically get out of bed. Nothing productive happens from there. So, you must get up. Looking like a potato will only make you feel like a potato. I personally find that getting ready and putting makeup on trick my mind into a sense of normality to give me that extra push to go and get my shit done. I also find that having a morning ritual, no matter how simple it is, but something that you can look up for every morning, can be such a motivating factor. For me, it's caffeinating myself into oblivion. No, but actually, it can be anything from staring at the ceiling to reading a book, doing yoga, working out, God forbid. No, just kidding. You can work out if you want to. But for a morning ritual, it really can be anything, as long as it's something that excites you and it's something that you can look up for every morning.
Often I'm upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess this avoids the stress of falling out of it. Are you tired of me yet? I'm a little sick right now, but I swear when I'm ready I will fly us out of here.
I used to start my morning with watching K-dramas, only to spend the whole morning watching K-dramas. So now, to avoid distractions, I opt for shorter versions or just YouTube videos. I'm obviously not the most organized person you will ever meet, but when it comes to working, I find that having a cluttered space can be really draining mentally. So I always clean before starting a work session, and that helps me a lot with staying organized and staying focused during that session, especially now that we are staying in the same place for longer periods of time. Listening to music while working has been helping me a lot to stay focused and not get bored. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Korean R&B and also the latest BTS album, and since I can't understand lyrics, it's not as distracting as other genres. What might have worked for you when working from outside may not work for you when working from home. It's only normal that a new situation calls for new routines and habits. I personally used to print all my classes and highlight everything on paper when working from the library, but working that way from home can get so boring and so frustrating. So now, for the most part, I don't print anything. I just go through all the information that I have to retain on my computer first and then write it down. That way I can avoid passive reading as much as I can and retain information faster and in a more efficient way.
It's a strange feeling that I have. It's a weird being that I am. It's an old notion that
As you'll already know, taking breaks is really important to give your mind some rest, but you have to keep in mind that the longer the break is, the easier you will lose momentum. So my advice is take breaks without using your phone, that way you are more in control of your time. The harder the task is, the easier it is to give up, so simplifying the tasks you have to do and things you have to retain can be very helpful. When it comes to studying, if I don't understand something, instead of getting discouraged so easily, I usually look up YouTube videos on the same topic, and if I don't find any, I look for lessons or different versions of lessons on the same topic. That way I have a bigger picture, so even if I don't understand everything, I always end up understanding most of it. I personally think that finding the best way to study is a lot of trial and error, so what might have worked for someone else may not work for you. For instance, the Pomodoro technique doesn't work for me personally, even though it works for a lot of people. I personally need more time to get in the state of flow of working, so that's what I usually opt for. I usually go for longer sessions of work and then I take longer breaks.
It's better for me, better for me, better for you, better for you. If we just do what we came to separately, it's better for me, better for me, definitely. Sorry, but I'm right. Would I be so drawn to solitude?
I'm pretty aware that checking news and staying informed is really important, but I personally find that checking the news all the time can be really draining mentally to me personally and gives me a lot of anxiety. So I usually check news only once a day and when the president or someone really important is going to talk. Also, you should not forget that the only way to feel rested is getting enough sleep every night. I also want to add that you don't have to be productive if you don't feel like it. There is no correlation between self-worth and productivity whatsoever. So honestly, in the days when you don't want to get out of bed, don't get out of bed. You don't owe productivity to anyone, not even yourself. As I said before, I spent the last 2 weeks in bed and I did it for my mental health. So I honestly don't regret it and I would do it again if it's needed. I'm personally so against the everyday, every night grind culture. I feel like in times like these, especially taking care of ourselves and staying sane should be the priority instead of being productive. I know what I'm saying right now may be contradicting to what I've said before, but this video is mostly aimed to students like me who are still expected to be performing normally and in an efficient way in a not so normal conditions. So this is for all of you out there who are still trying to function in a not so functioning world. And last but not least, I just want you guys to take care of yourselves and remember that we are going to get through this tougher, wiser, stronger, nicer, and even better as people. So don't give up, stay strong, follow your dreams as you've always done, and sun will rise again and again and again.